To fulfil its obligations of service to the community, fundraising is an integral part of the ongoing work of any Rotary Club. In its second year of existence, members of the Rotary Club of Taradale took to the streets, door knocking to raise funds for international relief agencies such as Corso.
But I went once and never again.
I did it several times, and the thing was, we ended up not having, not doing it. We just flatly refused.
Yeah, but it went on. Yeah. So it went on for.
We used to pick up the girls from the college though for years.
Yeah.
And drive them around, which was.
Yeah, well, we didn't go at those stages. All we did was drive the girls around. We just knocked on the doors, and
I didn't think that was fun at all.
It got very embarrassing.
Yeah, there was a lot of resistance to it, and in fact there's a letter that's recorded in the club history written.
The letter states that the practices have the common factor of money raising as their repugnant feature, and we are of the opinion that too much preoccupation into such material considerations not only lowers the tone of our impact on the community, but may well become the source of suspicion and contempt within this community.
Yeah. Despite that, particularly the Save the Children collection went on until, I remember Dennis Swan organising a collection, and Dennis didn't leave the club until about 1991.
The support for the door appeals for Save the Children continued right into the early 90s. The club had a long association with the organisation with its Sponsor a Child program, and through this avenue supported a number of children to Fiji through their formative years by paying their school fees. Raffles were also a popular means of raising money during this period, and the king of raffles was Dave Nicol. Now we're going to have an expert with us today who's in the fundraising scheme. Dave, you're a raffles man. You used to put some marvellous fundraising schemes together. Some of the ones at the auction were brilliant too, and your meat raffles and your freezer raffles and your motor vehicle raffles. But
well, being born a Catholic, you were brought up on raffles. You know, there was raffles going all the time. So yes, I probably had a fair grounding. But I got the idea at one stage of raffling a freezer full of meat. And we actually raised a lot of money for a lot of people with that, because a lot of little clubs like scout groups and that would come and get the tickets, and we went 50-50 with them. So although we raised about 5,000 ourselves out of it, there was a lot of money went through
direct benefit to
yes, the way they got the half of the tickets. That went for probably 5 or 6 years in conjunction with the auction. And we used to draw it on auction day, and we used to sell a lot of tickets on auction day because we had the freezer sitting there, and the visual thing.
And your raffles used to take more than the auction on some days, and the auction was always good.
Well, yes, at 5,000 odd.
Gee, that was marvellous.
And it carried on pretty much till the end, but you know, as happens, people sort of lost interest a bit. And
things changed, though.
Things changed.
There was a marvellous one you were recording about motor vehicles.
My disaster. In those days, cars were very hard to get, and I managed to get hold of a Ford car. You weren't allowed to raffle cars because they were hard to get, I guess. The Wharfies seemed to manage to raffle one every year, but they were a different breed, of course. And we were allowed to raffle it if we had a quiz, so the people had to guess how many miles the car would do on a gallon of gas. And I had Robbie organised to drive the car around the Puketap Hills, and the stage it stopped. It was recorded, and that was going to be the prize, or the winning number. But when people came along and said, "This is a joke, isn't it? You're going to draw the thing with a number," and being a good Rotarian, heck no, we're going to do it properly. This is going to be done, and people just wouldn't take the tickets, and we had a hell of a job trying to sell them. We tried everything. Actually, Mark Reed and I sat outside the Maranui TAB one day, and we managed to sell one ticket to Graham Pedersen, and we were heading for the races, and he gave us a winner, so that was well worth it.
So there's a little bit of good in everything, Dave, isn't there, really? A little bit of good in everything. On a number of occasions, members manned the phones to raise money through radio appeals. When the club set out to modernise the Town Hall Lounge for the first time, it raised $4,500 by this means. appeal was suggested and a telethon was run in June. Many of the members assisted with this telephone appeal, and they raised over $2,000 for this one.
I had the response from one person I rang, and he happened to be a customer of ours, but he told me he was leaving the district the following week and therefore he wouldn't make a contribution. But I saw him through the shop quite often for years, and I was going to ask him when he was going to shift, but I didn't want to embarrass him.
But more unique was the effort in 1991 when $30,000 was raised by a radio appeal to fund Denise Gordon, daughter of club member Jim Gordon. She had fallen ill with a liver disorder and required a transplant which was available only in Brisbane. The operation was a success, but sadly 11 years later Denise succumbed due to related complications. The club's fundraising history is dominated by large-scale events, such as celebrity dinners, gourmet experience, beer festivals, the long-running charity and auction fair. But thanks to the ingenuity and hard work of members who have organised smaller fundraisers, the club has been able to rely on a steady supply of project funding. A number of these projects have been recorded as video stories and they follow on this DVD. While the club has relied heavily on events such as the charity auction and the gourmet experience food and drink festival, the members have always been on the lookout for other ways of raising funds for their project account. Today at McLean Park, a number of members are acting as ushers to the spectators for the big match. Frank, how did this get started?
It started around about 2 or 3 years ago. It followed on from Mark Reid organising a team of ushers for the All Black trial, which was held at McLean Park, and we just followed this on by ringing up the the Cricket Association, and they gladly accepted our offer.
Did you get many people from the club taking part? Quite a keen following for this?
We require 20 people each time, and if the club members themselves can't attend, for example, if it's say during the week, then there are usually wives, girlfriends, children, etc. who will come along and help.
Frank, is it a serious fundraising event?
It's a mixture. The fact that we raise $2,000 each time we do it makes it a serious money, but it's also a lot of fun event, and the members get a lot of enjoyment out of doing it.
Frank, where does the money go?
Well, it obviously is determined by the directors where the money is distributed to, but we have repaid some of the money straight back into the McLean Park Development Fund.
It's a wonderful source of fun. We get great following from club members throughout every event you have. It's not just this one. What other events do we cover at McLean Park?
Well, we do nothing else at McLean Park, but we do actually cover the Jazz in the Park Festival at Church Road, and that's where we raise money by selling glow sticks.
You're a very active group, and we've been doing this for how many years, this particular event?
This particular event, I think about 2 to 3 years as far as I can recall, but there would have been a number of matches, I think at least 5 or 6 matches that we've been doing this for.
Frank, it's a great way of getting club members together too on a fun day, enjoying the afternoon, and goodness gracious me, you watch the cricket as well.
Well, essentially it's money for old rope.
Mind you, I think the guy on the camera's gone to sleep, he's watching the cricket. The cricket series marshalling actually netted the club about $7,000. That's for the whole season. And we ended up with a very good series when we saw England take on New Zealand in the one-day test match, and then later on the 5-day test match at McLean Park. So as well as the members doing a bit of marshalling on the side, we were able to enjoy the atmosphere and watch the entertaining cricket. And the highlight of that, of course, would be the last day when we saw New Zealand's fastest 50 scored on McLean Park. It's been bonuses all round. It's been bonuses for us, bonuses for cricket, and bonuses for the community. Of course, the funding for that will go back in that direction. Stock taking is another way that our club raises funds for the club project account. We've been doing this since 1996, and tonight we're at the Taradale New World Supermarket, and a pleasure to talk to Daryl. Daryl, you're looking after the whole thing tonight, I believe.
I am indeed, yes. I do it. I've been doing it for a little while now, and it seems to go very well.
Are we of help to your organisation?
Absolutely, we can do without you.
Excellent. How long would it take to do the stock taking?
The count itself probably normally takes about, with you people on board, normally 2.5 hours, 3 hours.
Which is
max.
pretty good. You do it often during the year?
We do it twice a year.
And the reason for the stock take?
So that we know how the business is trading, basically, making sure that we're making a profit, basically.
And you actually trust the guys from the Rotary Club? That's wonderful. Delighted to hear that.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, no, we're very privileged to have you guys, and we know that you do a good job, hence why we have you back.
Thank you very much, Daryl. We enjoy being part of, and as I say, we raise funds for our project account, which goes back to the community anyway.
Very good.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.
You've actually organised this tonight. Have you got a good crowd from the Rotary Club coming along?
Oh, very good, very good.
How many?
Oh, about 20 at the moment, and 1 or 2 more to come, I think.
I mean, it's Sunday night, you know, it's the end of a big weekend, but I've just been talking to Daryl from the supermarket. He says it's a marvellous help for them.
I'm sure it is.
Obviously it's good for our club. So what do we do with the funds we raise from this?
Well, I don't know. They just go into the general pool.
Right, club projects account.
Yes, that's right. We'll probably get $600 for the night.
Excellent.
Which is quite good fun, and it'll be quick, 2 hours. And we should be $600 up with a bit of luck.
You know, Bob, we've been doing this sort of thing since 1996, and starting to pack and save, and now
I'm
New
starting
World.
to feel it, actually.
That shakes all the way down the road. Well, we're going to move on and just make sure the other boys and girls are doing the right thing.
I'm sure they are.
Nice to have you in charge.
Very good. I wouldn't say.
One step, spray and walk away. Much greater challenge.
One step.
Frank, you would have done this over many years at very different locations too, and it's fun, isn't it?
No. I just hope that when the new shelves are built at the new supermarket, that there's more space between here and here.
Oh, sure.
Otherwise, I'm going to get.
I'm sure they'll take note of that.
Yeah.
No, Frank,
When you want more space.
Between my ears.
John, you. I remember the club. Nice to have you here, and thank you very much for being involved. But these aren't deodorants here. You realise that, don't you?
Well, it's wild lavender. And,
Exactly.
Or you can have essence of summer.
Thank you. Tig, excuse me, dear. Why are you throwing those things on the floor?
Because I'm in a bad mood. I was having a nice glass of wine at home, and Frank said, "Oh, half the people haven't turned up." So if I know who those people are, I'll give the man to be pure where it hurts. Even if it's sensitive.
It's the fellowship that counts, guys.
I'd rather count the condoms. That would be much more fun.
Behind me is the Tom McDonald Cellar. We're at the Church Road Vineyard for the annual Jazz Festival. It's been going since 2001, and we've been involved every year. This year it features Nathan Haynes, and on glow sticks is the Taradale Rotary Club.
In an ocean or a creek.
We're here at Church Road, Taradale. We've been here for a number of years.
We have indeed. We started here back in 2001, in your year, actually, Warren. You remember that?
It was a great year too.
It was a good year.
Great year.
And we made $1,700 that year. Money, Frank says, money for old rope.
Now, Keith, have we had this contract continuously right through to now?
No, we missed out for about 2 years when the manager of the wineries belonged to another service club. But since we've got a new member, Sue has come on board with us, and we've got it back this year.
That's fine. Now, I notice the guys having a wonderful time down there already, and it's only just after 5:30, 6 o'clock at night, close to that. Now, when do you get your really big sales? Is it when it's dark?
It's when after dinner, when they've had their dinner, had a few wines, they open up the purses, and we have a lot of fun, and we do sell a lot of glow.
Do you meander up and down the rows as well?
We do indeed, yeah. We meander around, and people reach out for their purses and buy the sticks, yeah.
It's excellent, isn't it? One year you also raised funds for Cranford Hospice while we were here.
Yes, one year we had a bucket collection, and that was about $5,000 raised on the bucket collection alone, yeah, by our members. So it's a good money raising venture, and not a lot of effort goes into having to do it.
You have not much trouble getting help?
No trouble at all, no.
Doug, it's a very, very busy night for you because you're actually working here tonight, but of course you're a member of the Taradale Rotary Club. You've been involved with this for many years. It's always fun?
It's always fun, and everyone seems to enjoy themselves when they come.
Well, just looking around, it's going to be another cracker night. How many do you think are here at the moment, and what sort of crowd are you expecting?
There's about 4,000 here at the moment, and there will be a few more coming in when the main artist starts.
Thank you, Doug. We'll come and help you now in the cellar. Have a wonderful evening. Right, okay. We're just walking around the vineyard at the moment where a lot of Rotarians are here as well. The ones that used to help us out with the glow sticks, but they're having a rest tonight. They're having an absolutely wonderful night. There are a lot of people here that we recognise from Cape Kaitaora as well. Tell me, ladies, tell me, are you going to have a wonderful night tonight?
Oh, absolutely. Hoping to find a man.
Peter, you've had a busy night already.
Oh, a bit slow. I don't think they've had enough of the bottle yet.
But you normally find it goes better as it gets darker and the crowd and the music gets going.
Definitely.
All right. Is there a favourite colour, Peter?
Orange.
Orange is this year's colour. Have a wonderful night.
Okay.
We were here for the annual jazz concert at Church Road Vineyard, and then not so long after that, also for the Jake Johnson concert.
We had Jack Johnson here with a crowd of 9,000 people.
One of your biggest crowds, too, Dave?
It was our biggest crowd. And on the night of the concert, we had a team of 12 here assisting us with security and that sort of thing. And then on the Sunday morning, we had 20 Rotarians and wives and friends come down and help by cleaning up the park. And they did a wonderful job.
So we did well.
You did very well.
I mean, I know what it was like, Doug. I came here in the carpet. It was just a carpet of paper, wasn't it?
Paper and plastic and yeah, it was a pity that they left so much rubbish, but we had a good team, and for 2.5 hours we bent our backs and cleared the park, and very much appreciated.
It's the same thing with Rotary, isn't it? Getting out and doing projects is what makes it good fun and good fellowship. And of course by doing that we often get the odd dollar and two to help with other community events. So did we do all right on that one?
I'm sure you did. I believe there's a cheque for $1,000 coming forward for that effort.
So we have the cricket, we have the musical events as well, but one of the other big events we've taken part in is the round the base cycle races. And we've done this about 7 years, and it's netted the club quite a good sum of money as well, which once again has forwarded on to community involvement. So to summarise the club, it's marshalling activities, we've taken part in music events, we've taken part in cricket, and we've taken part in cycling, and on some occasions 2 half marathons. So we've become quite involved with a large sector of our community. We look forward to doing more of these because the income is good. We shoot it straight out again from our projects account into the community. We've done many. We look forward to doing a lot more because we enjoy it as well.